Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Offside Rule, hosted by myself, Yannicka, or Itchan City, and I'm joined by the lovely Shal.
Hello.
So, yeah, tonight we're just going to do like a Europe roundup, and then we'll go on to a bit of a Prem predictions for the weekend. So, the first game in Europe was Leipzig 0, Liverpool 2. So, what did you watch the game?
Yeah, I was watching most of it. Yeah, I mean, after the first kind of goal, I kind of just gave up, and I was like, nah, they're gonna win. Like, I'm a bit bored of this. Yeah, first half was different to the second half for me. As in, the first half, Leipzig had some kind of fight in them. I feel like they kind of slowly declined in the second half after the second goal. It just went downhill a little bit. I think with Leipzig, if you're going to fight Liverpool with a high line, then this is going to be the consequence. Like, this really is going to be the consequence of like Liverpool thrive in that kind of situation. Like, that's what they want. Like, they've pulled you in and then they kick you on the counter attack and then you're in trouble. I think if Nagelsmann learns. And I think the only way that I see Leipzig coming back from this is if Nagelsmann doesn't do a high line when they play next. And he actually decides to change it up. And if he learns from what's happened this match, I think that's the only way it's going to change. But yeah, Nagelsmann is like kind of new. Like, it's a new team. I understand that. But Liverpool, like, you've learnt the hard way with Liverpool. Never play them high line with Liverpool. It's a bad idea. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what? Liverpool just have it in Europe. Like, even if they're struggling badly in the league,
failing in the Premier League,
yeah,
they're failing.
They'll always turn up in Europe, and I think Leipzig, it's a little bit of probably a bit of inexperience from them as well, because even in the group stage, you know, Man United beat them like 5-0 or 5-1 or whatever it was. So, yeah, I don't think they'll go through. I don't think there's any way, even if Liverpool don't really turn up, they'll probably still end up with a 0-0 draw.
No, I want Leipzig to win. I can see. Do you know what? I think the problem is that this season and like every season is so unpredictable that I think it is capable for Liverpool to be kicked out. Would I rather them stay in? Yes, and for one reason only. It's because the longer they're in the Champions League, the more likely they are to fail in the Premier League, and the more likely I'm going to be right that they're joining Europa League next season.
I just don't think. You know what? You never know, because last season we thought Barcelona were through, Liverpool were out. Not last season, season before. You know, we thought that Liverpool were out, and then they came back. So it is possible. But yeah, I just can't see it. But we'll have to see. Liverpool in Europe tend to be quite good, so we'll see what happens with that. In terms of the next game, Barcelona 1, PSG 4, Mbappe masterclass. That's the game that I watched, to be honest. I didn't watch Liverpool. And yeah, that was a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant performance from PSG. Yeah, what were your thoughts on the game?
Barcelona are done. See you later. They are out of the Champions League. There's no coming back. I'm sorry. Like, I'd understand if it was 2-1. I'd understand that there'd be a comeback, but they have to get 4 goals against PSG, a side that I personally believe will end up in the Champions League final.
Exactly.
But I genuinely believe they will. I'm sorry, like, Barcelona. Like, Messi was one of their only good players that actually turned up. Like, they had shots everywhere. I don't know if they needed to go to Specsavers to check where the goal was. I was questioning their like motives. I didn't know what they were doing. I was like, geez, this is all over the place. Like, I There's just nothing good about them. Absolutely nothing good about Barcelona. PSG, on the other hand, Everton are sat in their chairs regretting selling Moise Kean. Not selling, but going on loan because you know he's never coming back. You know that Moise Kean is never going to come back to Everton, ever. Like, he's tasted PSG high life and he's like, why am I going back to Everton? I'm not. He's not. And I think that's going to be an Everton regret. PSG, like, Mbappe's first goal was incredible. Everyone goes on about the third goal, but from like the top of the box, like for me personally, his first goal, it was that one touch in the box, like, and it was really like a volley, and I was just like, and everyone's like, oh, like. I was like, I would take Mbappe at my team. I don't care. I would take Mbappe. Like, he's such a talent. And I think also PSG have actually proved the point. And I'm going to be really controversial here. You know what I'm like, Jan, but you know, I don't think that PSG need Neymar. And that was proved a couple of nights ago because they showed that without Neymar, they can still provide. Without Neymar, they are still capable in the midfield, in the strike, in the top three, getting a goal, in their defense, in their goalkeeper. They have no issues. Neymar is a big name, and I think a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Neymar, but I think a lot of other players got recognition in the team last night, whereas it would have just been like, oh, Neymar with the masterclass. Whereas a lot of players got recognition that I personally think they deserved. Like you hear about the big people like Neymar, Icardi, like Mbappe, but you don't hear about the midfield or the defense who actually put such a great performance in. And I know, and I can see some comments like, do need Neymar. Like, I'm just making the point that everyone seems to say we need Neymar in the team. Your team just proved that even without Neymar, they can. There's no like issue. Like they can provide the goals, and for me, like Neymar's a little bit overhyped. There, I said it. I jumped out.
Do you know what? To be honest, like Neymar is a fantastic player. I
just feel like it's overhyped with like when they're like, oh, Neymar did this and Neymar, or like if PSG win, it'll be like a Neymar masterclass.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, it's not just Neymar. Like there is a whole PSG team. Like Neymar, it's not just if you put Neymar against every team, would it work? No. There's not just Neymar. To get the goals, there is a midfield, a defense, a goalkeeper, two wingers. Like it's not just Neymar, and that's my point. Yeah, he can be a great player and he can get goals, but without all these other players, where are you getting in life?
Yeah, I get what you mean, because I know it's like it's interesting because you always have that player in every team where it's like, oh, they can't play without that player. And, you know, for some teams, it's kind of true. Like, there are some teams where you take out one player and they struggle significantly. But big teams and these fantastic sides in Europe, it's not quite like that. Like, you know, obviously take Lewandowski out of Bayern, you're going to get less goals because he is the main goal scorer. But it doesn't mean that Bayern are going to go and lose every game just because he's out, because they have other players that can also score. You know,
yeah, but that's my point that I'm trying to make is that like that it's not just like Mbappe needs credit, Moise Kean needs credit. Like it's just, I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, PSG did great. Barcelona are dead. See you later.
Yeah, Barcelona are just not the team they once were. Like, I don't think there's anyone in their squad, Messi aside, that you would really fear if they came to play. Jem Bailey
no one.
Awful. Like, I don't watch Barcelona, but that performance from him, was terrible. Like
it was. Did you see his shot on target from the right-hand corner of the box, and it just went completely. I was like, "Hun, I think you need to go to Specsavers. You know, like these people in Barcelona need to go to Specsavers to have their eyes checked, or maybe someone needs to show them what a goal is, because they weren't like, oh, I can't."
Yeah, I would say it was a good pen from Messi, you know, but apart from that, he couldn't really do much, to be honest. I think PSG were just too much for them. Mbappe was too much for them. And, you know, I think they would have been lucky to come out of that with a point, or, well, not a point, but like, do you know what I mean? To be still in it at that stage. Just madness. But we'll see what happens in the next leg. I'm assuming it's going to be quite a big, hefty score against Barcelona with them being at.
Yeah, I expect at the end of the second leg it to be PSG 8, Barcelona 2.
Definitely. And they'll have Neymar back for the second leg, so I know it's like thing, but it's just going to make it even worse. So I can see that myself as well. If you're in here, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share it across your socials. But the next game now is Sevilla 2, Dortmund 3. I didn't actually watch it because I was watching. But, you know, Haaland got a brace, which is always nice.
Haaland's goals. Oh, my God. They were bloody beautiful. I was just sat there like, this man, like, can we just have this man at Chelsea now, please? Like, I've had enough of, like, waiting. Like, it was... A really, the second goal was Dortmund falling asleep. Their defense fell asleep and a goal. And I think that's the problem is Dortmund's defense fell asleep and then this happened. Haaland made a great effort. He done a great job, and both goals were like, they were 3-1 up at half time. And about 75th minute, Dortmund's defense fell asleep, and look, Sevilla cancelled. They jumped on the idea that they'd fallen asleep, and they got a goal off it. And I think Dortmund need to realise that was a mistake on their behalf, and absolutely not do that again, because that was, I mean, but Haaland impressed the living hell out of me. I was just sat there like, this man is going to come to our team. And this man is going to come to our team because Dortmund are in money problems.
I'd love Haaland, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, thank you. He's coming to us. Thank you.
You know what? It's funny though.
No, I'm sorry. No. You have a great team. You have a great team. You have a team that's good in. You have a team that's good in everything. You have a player that's good in every part of your team. Can you not just let Chelsea have one thing? We have a shaky defense, two goalkeepers that are one's awful and one's average. We have a defense that's shaky, a midfield that's sort of sturdy, and our striking, I'm not even sure, they're missing in action. So just let us have Haaland, man. Come on.
Yeah, I don't. Do you know what? It'd be interesting to see where he ends up, because you know what?
Chelsea.
All their players end up going to bloody Bayern, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But I would personally look. I wanted to watch him. I was like, I'm gonna watch Dortmund, and then I seen it at the same time as Man City.
It's okay. I figured a way out.
Man City, so I was like, so I did see his goals, but I didn't watch the game. But
I put one on my iPad. I put one on my iPad and one on my my TV, and then one on my laptop. So I had like 3 games, because at the City game, I had the Dortmund game, and I had the Porto game on. I was like, I'm going to be watching all of these.
No, he's just unreal. I think him and Mbappe are both unreal.
Yeah, literally. I feel like he saw Mbappe get 3 goals, and he was like, let me give you 2 epic goals, Haaland style, coming my way.
He was like, I seen Mbappe score last night, and I was like, I'm going to do the same. So, you know, I like his mentality. I like him.
But I like the fact that he wants to get those goals if other players that are above his level, like, well, not above his level, but like on the like scoring side of him, that kind of are getting these goals. And he's like, you know what? No, I'm going to do the same as them because I'm going to prove to you guys that I can do the same. And I like that a lot. Yeah.
Valvish fan, we have already talked about Liverpool earlier. But yeah, I think, you know what? I think Dortmund, people are saying they can see Sevilla coming back. But I think if this was Europa League, yes, champions will have too much for them, especially because they're going to be at home. Dortmund don't really need to win. They can just draw. So, yeah, I think Dortmund will go through. Who do you think will go through overall?
Actually, I'm going to be really controversial here. I think Sevilla could actually go through and beat Dortmund.
They could, yeah, they could.
I would like not to for Haaland's sake, but I personally, if Dortmund, the problem is that all it takes is for Dortmund to fall asleep again, and that's all it takes.
They do leak a few goals, actually, Dortmund.
Yeah,
they do tend to. But you know what? It's one of them things where it's kind of like, because a lot of City fans, they want Messi. So they're like, if Messi goes out of the Champions League early, that means he's more likely to join Man City. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Haaland goes to like a Champions League final with Dortmund, he might think, I'll stay at Dortmund to see if we can win it. So it's kind of like, it's almost better if they go out early, if you know what I mean. If you want a player.
I agree.
So we'll have to see. The next game, Porto 2, Juventus 1. I know you watched it, so I'll let you talk. I've seen some highlight things of Ronaldo, which didn't look too impressive considering people were saying the GOAT.
How is there any highlights? He was missing in action for 90 minutes of the game. Just to clarify, 90 minutes of the game, he was missing in action. Missing. Watching the game being like, oh, they're going to bring him on as a sub. He was playing for the first half. I thought they were bringing him on for a sub. The man didn't turn up. He usually makes some sort of impact. The only impact he did was hitting the grass when he was already going down for a penalty. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, sorry, Han. Like, you know what? At least Messi gave them a penalty, like, and got them a goal. Ronaldo did nothing. Like, I think this kind of, I believe that Ronaldo didn't have a good game because of Pirlo. And my thoughts on this Pirlo situation are like the Frank Lampard situation. They're just making dreams come true for Pirlo and Lampard. Like, let you manage my club, like your old club. But Pirlo's failing miserably. He's got no experience. He doesn't know what he's doing with a team. With a team that are actually, they've got a good team. Juve have a great team, and it's being wasted away. Like, the fact that Ronaldo didn't turn up, like, that says a lot. Porto, however, they got a quick goal. I think it was in the first 5 minutes they had a goal. And then in the first half, in the first 5 minutes, they got those goals. So Porto are very good at getting those goals in like the first few minutes, which impressed me. And do you know what? Porto defended until the very end where they accidentally let a goal in, which for a team like Porto playing against Juve, like, I'm not even complaining. Like, I think Porto have more to lose than Juve do. And I think that will be their downfall. I think a Juve will go into this thinking they can win it and get it back. Whereas the difference is Porto are going with the mindset, we have a lead, but I want a bigger lead. And I think that's the difference in mindsets. I think that's going to be Juve's downfall, because you can't expect to win anything. It's not how it works in life. If you don't perform well and give 100%, then I don't think you deserve to. And as far as I'm concerned, from this performance, and if they perform like this in the second leg, they deserve to be kicked out. And if you look at that now, Messi out the Champions League, Ronaldo out the Champions League. Maybe it's saying something, but I think Pirlo's a really poor choice for a manager at Juve. I think they got rid of Sarri. Yeah, he's probably be better. I think Ronaldo's just jealous that like the manager is the greatest player ever and Ronaldo isn't there yet. So Pirlo is world class, like to the point on a level of Pirlo. We need to we can respect. We can say that Pirlo isn't a good manager, but there's no need to diss him as a footballer. The man is an actual legend. Like, Bruno, stop it.
Yeah,
sorry, my dog is.
It's funny though because it's like people were saying. Jeremiah makes a good point. He says Messi and Ronaldo are simply past their best. It's interesting because last night a lot of people were not last night, whenever it was, last night and the night before, people were kind of expecting to see this Cristiano Ronaldo that we've seen over the years, where he's so dominant in Europe and he goes and wins games on his own and that sort of thing. I think they were expecting that Ronaldo. They were expecting the Messi that kind of, can beat a team 3-0 on his own and stuff like that. And it's just like, in the teams that they're in right now, we're just not going to see the best of Ronaldo and the best of Messi. Obviously, they are at the end of their careers, let's be honest.
Agreed.
But yeah, I think they can still, I think Messi's out because PSG are so strong. Yeah. Ronaldo has a chance. I think Juve won away goal already. They wouldn't have to do too much to beat Porto. A 1-0 will do it. So yeah, I think Juve have a good chance of going through. But yeah, I think Messi's out. I really do. Unfortunately for him.
Can we just talk about this comment for a second? Because this is really like Pirlo versus Cristiano. He's not a 10th of prime Cristiano Ronaldo. Are you taking the mick here, hun? Have you ever heard of Andre Pirlo? Have you actually heard of Pirlo? Have you seen him play? No, obviously not. You're probably still in like secondary school. So maybe you should go do some research, figure out who Pirlo is, because actually the man is actually an incredible legend. Something Ronaldo isn't at the minute. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. He has done the same thing as Frank. There's declining, like Sarri left in an absolute, like a mess, and Pirlo took a job like Frank, and it won't last long because he'll ruin the club. Thank you, Jeremiah. Did you watch football? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, big up to Jem in the chat. Let me get some of the comments before we go on. Big up to Indiana as always. I'm not going to go to the comments. Big up to Daniel. Let's go, ladies. Big up to One Rovers. He says big up Yana. Yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. I'll get to some of them in a bit. But yeah, I think, you know what? I feel like Juventus at the moment, like someone was saying, like they're aging and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't watch them week in, week out. But in Serie A, they are 4th at the moment. I don't think they'll stay 4th because I think, they're not too far off the top. But yeah, at the moment, it doesn't look like they're going to win the league, which is kind of already sort of at the start of the season, you'd expect Juve to go on and win it. So they're not doing the best at the moment. I still think in the Champions League, the likes of Cristiano can turn up and turn a game around. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. Kieran says, I'm lost. Pirlo versus Cristiano. Ronnie might be old now, but in football, who is the bit bigger legend? Shell, what is going on? I think he's
I'm sorry. If you're agreeing with me, that's great. But I just want to describe. If you look tactically,
he's disagreeing with you.
He's disagreeing. Well, let me just set you straight here. If you've actually watched Pirlo, he is incredible. tactically. He may not have been the best at what he does, but if you look at his time on the ball, if you look at how he passes, his corners, his free kicks out the box, his free kicks in the box, his corners, his out the box free kicks, they're incredible. His tactics, he was tactically beautiful. And if you're going to debate that with me and tell me that Ronaldo gets goals, yes, but tactically, Pirlo is better. I'm not having this discussion. And if we're going to have this discussion, I'm going to call in Latimus Prime, because Latimus Prime will agree with me.
Yeah, Pirlo. To be honest, I didn't watch too much of Pirlo, but I have seen him. Do you know what I mean? And he's just, you know,
he's beautiful.
Unreal.
It's a beautiful thing to watch. It's like art. It's genuinely like watching art.
Calm and collected, but then he would do amazing things. Like he was just, he doesn't look like a footballer. Put it that way. He just doesn't. He says Pirlo was amazing, but he is not a top 5 all-time contender. You cannot rub out everything Cristiano Ronaldo has done due to age. Same with Messi. I haven't
even brought age into this. I'm a little bit confused. I'm actually like debating this because you blatantly haven't watched Pirlo play. You haven't sat down and watched him play or looked back at how he played or looked back at his tactics. Because if you had, you wouldn't be trying to debate this with me. This shows me that you have not watched Pirlo play. So why don't you go watch Pirlo play and then come back and have a debate with me?
I think the thing is, a lot of people now as well is they go off like, it's kind of like with football fans, whatever suits your agenda kind of works. So you get people who will say, I don't know, this player is better than this player. And then when you say, well, I don't agree with that, they'll say, but statistically, he's better than him. But then
it's based on, but Ronaldo being good is based on all the goals he's scored. It's not based on, if you were to put Pirlo and Ronaldo together based on tactics, there's a different level. And I'm not going to have people rule out, yes, he didn't get that many goals. I'll accept that. But the man, you're telling me that, like, no, how are we even having this Ronaldo Pirlo debate like this? It's embarrassing, you know. I'm Team Pirlo, and we all know that.
It's the thing is, it's like I test over stats. Like certain players, certain players in the past haven't had the best stats, like Scholes, people like that. They didn't have the best stats, but they're still a quality player. And this is what it is. Like for some players, people want to use stats, and for other players, they want to use. And I'm not discrediting Ronaldo because I think Ronaldo is one of the best.
I'm not discrediting him here either.
But you know, there's levels to it. Let's put Lambs in now. Big up to Lambs.
Yes, Lambs. Thank you. Some sanity here.
I'm actually so sorry. I'm running late. Like I literally messaged too late, and I was like just like making dinner and enjoying it, and I was just like up, and I was like, oh damn, yeah, they're live. Oh damn, it's today.
I'm so glad you're here. We've just been having a debate about Pirlo and Ronaldo, and someone's telling me that Ronaldo is better than Pirlo. And I've just been setting them straight. Just because Ronaldo has more goals doesn't mean, like, tactically and how with his free passes and his free kicks and his crosses.
Come on, it's Ronaldo. It's Chris.
I'm not. Yeah, but he gets all these goals and it's Ronaldo. But tactically, Pirlo is better.
Oh my God, no, he's brilliant. Ronaldo is tactically like brilliant. I remember when he was at United, there was a training video that got released, and I don't know, I think he was like 17 or something at the time. He was just there, like just running around, like doing kick-ups, kicking the ball over Sir Alex Ferguson. Like he was just, I was like, I couldn't believe my.
Can we get Prime in here now? I'm gonna need a backup. I need Prime in here. I need Prime in here to back me up because Prime would agree with me. Like and Prime have a Pirlo thing.
Cristiano Ronaldo is absolutely immense. There is no, like, when he was at Manchester United, I was jealous. I was so jealous. When he went to Real Madrid, I was so jealous.
I'm not saying Ronaldo is not good.
I'm still so.
I'm not saying Ronaldo's not good, but just because he's got a load of goals, like I just.
It's not even that. It's just like I remember when he used to treat like free kicks as if they were penalties, like the way he would just
freedom thing.
like literally, and then he was just like, you just knew like, oh god, it's a goal, and then it'll be a goal because like that's just how like intelligent and the skill, the weight that he has on those balls, those free kicks. He's just, oh come on, like it's CR7, come on, like it's CR7. I mean, I'm having like we're currently having this debate on the Midnight Vibe show on the terrace whether who's better, Messi or Ronaldo. Currently,
no.
And I'm back Ronaldo because Ronaldo is like, for me, he's just one of those players that he's just proven it. He's just proved it time and time again in multiple different leagues with different teams and on an international level. I feel Messi hasn't, so that's why for me Ronaldo edges it.
I'm not even debating the fact that Ronaldo is better than Messi. What I'm trying to debate is the Pirlo like Ronaldo situation, which I'm gonna believe in, and I'm gonna say
I love you, Charles, but in this sense, like I just can't.
We'll agree to this. Is that because like I feel like everyone says Ronaldo because they're like, oh, I mean, it's Ronaldo.
Does Jan agree with you or me?
Do you know what? No, I'm not. I didn't really watch Pirlo too tough. So what I have seen, he was brilliant. But obviously, Ronaldo is one of the best players I've seen. But for me, do you know it's a hard one because like I've always seen it like this. Like Messi is so naturally brilliant. Like he literally was born playing. Like I've seen videos of him when he was 10, and he's just 100 times better than the players around him. And you know, Messi, it just seems so effortless. Like he doesn't need to try. Whereas Cristiano Ronaldo, another fantastic player, but I think he's actually worked very hard to get where he is. And this is why it's paid off for Ronaldo. Like Ronaldo has worked incredibly hard and it's paid off. And I'm not saying that Messi doesn't work hard because he does, but I just feel like with Messi, it's like a lot of natural talent. And he's not had to really do too much for that to shine. Whereas Cristiano Ronaldo, as much as he does have natural talent as well, I think he's also worked very hard to get where he is. And now these two are the best two players in the world. Obviously, now you're getting people like Mbappe coming up. And, you know, in 10 years' time, it'll be different. Yeah, Neymar, you've got, people are throwing Haaland and stuff. So in the future, it's going to be different. But right now, them two are the best. And I think they've both perfected different sort of leagues. So I'd say for Ronaldo, Champions League, you know, he's been, I know Messi's won it as well, but like he's really perfected that. Whereas I think league title-wise, Messi's done better in that field. So I think both of them, it's quite hard when you kind of say who's better, Messi or Ronaldo. Because it's one of those debates where whatever you say is not necessarily wrong. It's just preference. And I think that's what it comes down to. But they do say winning leagues is harder than the Champions League. So like Jose Mourinho says that. Pep says that. Like a lot of people that have won it, so they're not hating because they have won it. They do say it's harder. So it just depends on what, like Messi's numbers are unreal. Ronaldo's numbers are unreal. So yeah, so I think it's always going to come down to preference with them too.
Yeah, I agree.
I suppose it's down to what somebody as an individual values most, like natural ability, talent, or hard work, meritocracy. Like, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
People are saying Ronaldinho clear of them. Do you know what? Ronaldinho is my favorite player ever. I love Ronaldinho. So you will not see me argue with that statement because I love him.
He hurt me too much as a Chelsea fan, so I can't.
I have to agree. Like he's incredible, but it hurts to say that. It really does. I'm just He was
the definition of the beautiful game. He made football beautiful.
Yeah.
You get.
I like the fact that he had like this rebel side as well, where he just had no F's to give. Like he was out there partying until the next day. Then he'd turn up for training and be like, yeah, probably still had alcohol in the system, but he was still performing. Like, the man is I just like the fact that he was turning up partying. Then he was playing incredible football. And I was like, man, like, oh, this man.
Yeah, it's just, he was just something else. He's like Usain Bolt's like that in terms of athletics. Like, he just used to. He was
he's the kind of player that will still be talking about him like to our grandchildren. Like, oh mate,
you know that's gonna happen.
And stuff like this guy. Oh my god, used to just terrorize team defenses in midfield single-handedly. Literally, just a quick 1-2 drop of the shoulder, and he's gone. He's gone. That's it. Oh god, it's great to watch if it's not against your team. That's for sure.
I know. Do you know what? He's the only player that I've not seen live that I would have loved to see live. Like, I'm gutted that I never saw it. Can we just have it once? But he was on the bench. I think he played AC Milan when he was there, and he didn't play. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm in the stadium waiting for him to play, and he didn't play." I was like, "Oh, good."
Can we just? I've just seen this comment, and it's been bugging me. Salah is above Hazard in the Premier League.
Oh, he's just chatting. He's just chatting.
And then he's a Liverpool fan. Now, I want to state something. Hazard right now, probably isn't. However, when Hazard was in the Premier League, don't even come comparing Salah. Like, don't even talk to me. And anyone that comes for Hazard in the Premier League at prime Chelsea, I swear, like, nah, I'll dish your team. I'll dish your best players. Don't come for me about Hazard in the Premier League at Chelsea. Man was beautiful.
Oh yeah, he's being serious.
I'd just like to say, Liverpool, your team suck. Liverpool, your team suck. Let me tell you, Liverpool are poor. Thiago, overrated. Alisson becoming a WWE wrestler. So is Kabak. Mane and Salah not even turning up this season. I'm not even sure everyone's realizing that Trent Alexander-Arnold is overhyped as hell. So don't even come for my team. Sorry, Lambs. Carry on. I apologize.
Yeah, it's cool. Haters are gonna hate. Haters are gonna hate. But to be honest, at the end of the day, it didn't take Hazard 30 years to win a Premier League title from when he arrived at Chelsea. So I mean, you know, let's just get that out there. Also,
yes,
he won everything. Like, he won everything there is to win with Chelsea. Obviously, we were unlucky in terms of the Champions League. At that point, I don't think we'd even qualified for the Champions League. That's why we were in the Europa League from like start to finish, and we won the game right until the end, until we won it in the end. But at that point, we'd already qualified. We made like the top 4, so we're already like in the Champions League anyway. But before that point, obviously, we had a few attempts, run-ins in the Champions League, but then we kind of went on a run where we were out of it for a couple of seasons, not really consistent enough. So that's probably why he didn't get the opportunity to win that Champions League with us. But he still won a European trophy in the end, you know what I mean? And that was his you know, his parting trophy for us. So, you know, in my opinion, I have to agree with Charlotte on this. You cannot even downgrade the country. Like, I know, yes, Salah's scored a lot of goals, but think about some of the players that Salah's had around him. There's been times in our squad where Hazard's just single-handedly been carrying us. I mean, even in that Europa League final, it was him. He was the star of the show. This is why, like, for a while it was pretty even, and then Hazard just came to life and started scoring goal after goal, and then we beat them. We battered them 4-1. So, you know, Hazard,
it's not even that. Didn't he win the league in France before he came anyway? That's why he came to you, because I don't know. I don't really get into too many debates because everyone,
just to clarify, Liverpool are, like, the only reason you have Salah is because Chelsea had him first. Chelsea had us. You took our sloppy seconds. But to show, if we're going on that logic,
So did City, and boy, are we buying our way that one.
Just to clarify, no. Anita's right when Salah is better right now than Hazard. Fact. But in the Premier League, because Hazard's not in the Premier League, so if you don't know that Hazard's not in the Premier League anymore, you probably need to check that out. But Hazard is not in the Premier League anymore. When he was in the Premier League at prime Chelsea, he was 10 million times better than Salah.
Like when they were there together, yeah.
Yeah, when they were there together. Not now. Hazard's not even in the Premier League. Duh. Like, even I know that, and I'm from Essex. Like, come on.
I'm really sad about Kevin De Bruyne, though. I'm really sad about that.
Oh, that's a sore subject for me.
Same.
But like, seeing him play so well really annoys me. Like, I always wish he does so bad, but seeing him doing so well, like, it's kind of like a stab in the heart. But he's such an incredible. He's such an incredible player.
I knew he had it in him, Charles. Like when he was with us, like I saw like small bursts of it, but we were at a time where he wasn't kind of really getting enough minutes. We were playing him in like weird positions. Like there was like real miscommunication, misunderstanding. But there were moments and glimpses where we saw like, oh wow, this guy's actually a good player. But the patience just wasn't there. And when he went to City, and then to just see him flourish like that just hurt my heart, because I always knew he was that kind of player. And but fair play to City for unlocking it.
I agree.
Like, Chelsea fans didn't want him to leave. It was more Mourinho, because he didn't get on with him and he didn't favour him. Yeah, but I actually read something about De Bruyne, and he was saying how, like, when he was a kid, like, he went to stay in, like, you know how you go and stay with a family when you're a footballer, and he went to stay with his family, and because he was quiet and didn't come out of his room, they said, we don't want him anymore. So he ended up having to move out and went into like these like halls basically for like footballers and all this. And like, it's really sad, like when you read his story. And then he went to Chelsea, and Chelsea were like, we don't want you. Like, it's really bad. So I'm so happy for him that he's come out the other side and he's getting what he wants.
Actually so sad.
I'm happy he's succeeding. I'm happy he's succeeding, but like Lam said, you saw those little bursts of greatness, and none of the fans wanted him to go. It was a choice made above us. Unfortunately, a choice that every Chelsea fan regrets to this day. But it is what it is. Like, I'm happy he's succeeding. But I mean, it's a sad story, but he's bloody succeeding, and it pees me off so bad. Like, it really bugs me that he's doing so well, because I sometimes want to go to like Roman, head up to Roman and be like, you did this. You did this.
Yeah. Right. Moving on. We're going to go on to the predictions. We'll just do a quick prediction. We don't need to go into it. But just who you think will go through. We don't have to do score predictions, but just who you think will go through out of the two teams. So the next round, we've already, before you came on, Lambs, we went through the previous ones. I said that I think Liverpool will go through. Charles said that Leipzig could do it, but as long as they don't play a high line. Barcelona, we assume, are out already. Dortmund, I think, will go through. Charles said that she can see Sevilla going through. But obviously doesn't know yet. And then Porto, Juventus. Charles said that she doesn't know if Juve will do it. But yeah, I think they will. I think they only need to win 1-0. So we're going to go on to the other games. So your team against Atletico Madrid. Who do you think?
Okay, excuse me.
This is actually, I don't know.
Okay, do you know what? I'm gonna go for like a 2-1 to Chelsea over both legs, and that's how we get through. I feel like it's probably gonna be like maybe like a 1-0 or like a 1-1 in the first leg. It's going to be like a real scruffy, dirty, like just kind of let's just get through it kind of leg. Do you know what I mean? Let's just get like the away goal and we move. Do you know what I mean? And then in the next leg, you know, we push. You know, maybe Atletico get that goal back, but you know, we push and then we get that win and we get that 2-1 on aggregate, and that's how we get through. Mm-hmm. That's how I'm hoping the game will go. Obviously, you know, I'm not like blind or immune to the fact that we are the underdogs coming into this game, not Atletico Madrid, especially everything that's going on. We do have a good enough squad. We do have a good enough manager to challenge and take on this Atletico Madrid side. But obviously, given the fact that it's all very recent, it's, you know, we've only been together for about 3 weeks. It's gonna be difficult, and there's high expectations. But I do feel like this is what Tuchel's been doing up until this point since he's come in. He does have one eye like on this Champions League tie ahead of us. So how he's been rotating the squad, picking players, trying certain formations and stuff, and seeing who works best in that formation. I feel like some of it is leading up to this point to kind of see, okay, who is my best consistently strong, defensively strong, but also attacking wise strong enough to challenge and go forward and actually just manage to scrape through and get a result to get us through to the next round. And I think that's kind of what he's been doing up until this point. Obviously, you know, managing and assessing injuries along the way as well. But I kind of do think that's kind of what he's doing. And it's clear he wants to play like a wing back position formation. So that's kind of why he's been going with Alonso a lot more. And it's clear to me, I do feel like he's probably going to go with Alonso. I feel like he's also going to prefer Kovacic and Jorginho to be our holding midfielders as well. And I think, especially now that Timo Werner scored a goal, I feel like Timo Werner is definitely going to start in this game as well. Really, really, really hoping Thiago Silva is going to be fit enough for this game, but I do hopefully see this game going in the direction that just about scrape it. I'm hoping and praying, but I do not deny how defensively strong they are and what a madman. A genius. Their manager is.
Yeah, like I think it's a hard one to call really, because it's like Tuchel got to a Champions League final last year. I know he had PSG, but he still did that. And I think I also think Atletico Madrid are kind of one of the favourites this year, just because of how well they're doing, the fact they've been to a Champions League final before. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think that is one game that you probably can't call as much as the others. So we'll see, obviously. I think it probably, if City did want to win it, obviously, we will knock ourselves out, to be honest. But, you know, if we do go on some mad run and go to win it, then obviously I'd prefer for Atletico not to be in it. So, yeah, I don't know. It would be interesting to see what happens. What do you think, Charles?
I mean, I'm now having Wi-Fi problems. Lambs, thank you for giving me your Wi-Fi problems. I appreciate that.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. We've cursed. We've got
kind of been behaving itself for like the last.
I know, couple of days. You know, yeah. I mean, the Atletico are going to win. I don't want. I would like my team to succeed, but we're not clinical enough. They've had a manager that they've had. Their defense is one of the best defenses in Europe. It's solid. It's like the wall in Game of Thrones. We need dragons to blow it down. Like, I'm sorry, like we don't have any dragons, so it's not going to come down. Like they have a goalkeeper that's incredible. Their defense incredible. They have Suarez. They have Felix, João Felix. Like, How are we competing with this? Like, we're not clinical enough right now. Yes, we have a new manager, but that doesn't mean anything right now, unfortunately. I mean, I want us. I'm just happy because if Lampard was here, I could see this being a 12-0 over 2 aggregates, and I'm not even playing. But if Kepa isn't in goal and Mendy is, I think we could keep it to a sturdy 5-2.
Oh gosh. Next one. Lazio against Bayern Munich. I had a feeling that Bayern wouldn't get to the final. I don't know who's going to knock them out. I don't think it'll be Lazio, to be honest. They're obviously.
I think they'll storm through Lazio. I think they'll absolutely. I think their goal aggregate is probably going to be one of the big ones. I think it's going to be up there with the PSG aggregate that I predicted. So I think if PSG are going for 8, I think Bayern are probably going for like 10. I mean,
they'll win. They'll win by a lot. Definitely.
Yeah, but I think Lambs, if PSG got 4 in the new camp, like they can get 4 at their own grounds, like, and I think Bayern, like, they're just gonna soar through them. Like, they're not gonna know what's coming. They're gonna be like, so many goals, but like, so many goals. Lazio goalkeeper's gonna be like, no, thank you. But I mean, they might surprise us. You never know. They might surprise us.
I know they struggled a little bit in the Bundesliga over the weekend, but they managed to come back and scrape a draw, which just shows the versatility and the mentality of this team. And you know, they did rotate their squad out a little bit as well. Maybe they do have one eye on the Champions League. Who knows? But I think I kind of agree with Jan in terms of, I have a feeling that they may not make it to the final. I feel like they may fall at like the quarterfinal or the semi-final, somewhere at that point. I feel like there may be a shock like result in for Bayern Munich. I'm not really too sure, but this is a crazy season, and I do see something like that happening. But I don't think Lazio is the team to do that.
It's not going to be
that.
I would buy them over both legs. I'm gonna predict something. I'm gonna predict something like 5-1 over 2 legs to Bayern. Obviously,
it could even be more.
I'd quite like to see either PSG or Atletico Madrid kick them out, and that's just personally for my own preference of enjoyance. Seeing them lose to PSG would be absolutely the icing on the cake, because like they lost Bayern. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think it depends on the draw, because if, like you say, PSG get Bayern Munich again, they're not gonna want to lose a final to them and then go out. And obviously, on the final, there's so much pressure. That was PSG's first final. The first time they got past the quarters, like into the semi-final, like, so it's there was a lot of pressure on them. Whereas if it's an earlier stage or even the semi-finals, I feel like PSG will knock them out this time. So we'll have to see. Obviously, it depends on their draw. I think if they get, like, if Liverpool go through and they get Liverpool, I could see Liverpool knocking out Bayern, you know, teams like that. So we'll have to see. But I don't know. If they get an easier route to the final, I think they'll get there. But if not, I could see them going out. It won't be Lazio.
But I agree with you. PSG have way more to lose. Like they have way more to lose. Like they lost to them in the final. Like it's their first time. Like they're not going to be messing around this time. They haven't come to play games. They're not in primary school. They've gone from primary school to the final year of secondary school. They're ready to leave for uni. Like they are ready. They are prepared. Like they ain't playing around. They haven't come to mess. And that's seen against Barcelona, because only 2 other teams have only 2 other players have whooped hat tricks at Nou Camp.
Yeah.
And one of them's Ronaldo.
Yeah, it's just madness. I think that'll be interesting anyway, but I think Lazio have no chance. The next game is Atalanta against Madrid. I know Atalanta has been good in the past, but I don't think they're that great this season. So, yeah, I think Real Madrid, they know what they're doing in Europe. As bad as they might be from time to time, I think they know what they're doing. So, for me, I'd say Madrid go through. What are your thoughts?
For me personally, I still don't think we should underestimate Atalanta because as bad as they've been in their own league this season, you know, they still managed to progress through the group stages. And let's not forget how many other good teams have dropped down into the Europa League as well. So I also think this is a Real Madrid team that's on the decline. So you never know, especially in these cup ties, these tournament competitions. Yeah. A bit of luck, a VAR decision, catch the defense sleeping, break through the lines, and you never know what might happen. And Atlanta, I feel like they did perform quite well, reasonably well in the group stages as well. So I feel like this will be a close game. I feel like it will be a draw over 2 legs that will take it to extra time and possibly penalties. And during that time, I don't even know if it will get to penalties, but between extra time and penalties, I think Real Madrid might just edge it and they will eventually get through. But I think Atalanta will give them a good game, to be honest, over both legs.
Yeah, what do you think, Shell?
Yeah, Atalanta are gonna win. I'm not even here to play anymore. Like, how can we compete with Real Madrid? Real Madrid are a dead team at the minute. Dead. I don't like.
Honestly.
Do you know what? Real Madrid used to be a scary team. When people used to come against Real Madrid, they used to be like, no, it's Real Madrid. But they've died. They've lost players. They've ruined Hazard. Hazard was supposed to be the new Ronaldo. It hasn't played out very well. They've absolutely failed at life. They've just failed. I can see Atalanta taking them out. I can see Real Madrid getting sloppy in the second half of each game in the first and second leg. And I can see Atalanta taking full advantage of that. And I can see Atalanta taking it. I mean, I'm not going to say it's easy for them because I think in the first half, Real Madrid will get goals in both halves. But I think they'll get sloppy in the second half. And I think Atalanta will take from that, just as you should. If people are sloppy, you take it. Like, you would take advantage of it. You don't just sit there and if someone's going to... it's like saying if someone could get a role as a manager, as the owner of Apple, like the head of Apple, people aren't just going to not take it. Like, if you have an advantage to get into the next round and kick Real Madrid out, take it. I'm all for it. I'm going to celebrate it. I'm going to enjoy Real Madrid failing. I'll see you later.
Yeah, and the last game is Mönchengladbach against Man City. I'm not looking forward to be honest. We played Mönchengladbach 2016, I think it was.
Yeah.
Or, no, 2018 it might have been. It wasn't that long ago.
Was it like 17, 18?
I think so. Yeah, let me check actually. It wasn't that long ago. And we won the home leg. I think it was 4-1, and we drew at their place 1-1. So I don't know. It was 16.
Yeah, but I feel like in 17-18 you weren't as on a roll as you are right now. Like, you're on a roll. You're 17 unbeaten. Like, you're not just beating a team. You're absolutely ripping their hearts out, stabbing it with a knife millions of times, and then blitzing it, and then putting it back in the heart. Like, you're destroying people. Like, you're literally destroying teams. You're getting goals for fun.
Do you know?
Like,
do you know what I think
goals
it
for
is?
fun?
Do you know what I think it is? Like, in Europe, like City, our defense has been questionable. Like, even when we've been winning the league, like, our defense has always been questionable. And I think this season we're not conceding as many goals. So, like, if you look at when we've gone out of the Champions League, Monaco 6-6, Tottenham 6-6, Liverpool, I think we conceded something like, I don't even know, 6 goals as well. Like, we've always been conceding 6 goals, and we've not even gone out on like by getting battered. Like, it's always been we've gone out on aggregate, gone out on
away goal,
yeah. And I think, like, I can't see Man City going and conceding 6 goals over 2 legs anymore. I just can't see it. So I think for that reason, as long as we score how we usually do in Europe, I think we'll be all right, you know. But I think with City, like, we don't normally struggle at these sort of stages. It's when we get to the latter stages and the pressure kicks in, and I think we overthink it. Like, to be fair, last season, Leon, there was one leg. We went for it. We conceded a goal. Then we had to continue going for it because it was one leg. Whereas if that's a normal game, we'd probably settle for a draw in that game and then go again at home leg. But we couldn't do that because of the way it was. So it was a little bit unfair in terms of we had that one game. And obviously we couldn't really do much about it. And, you know, they won 3-1, but it was 2 of them goals were on the back of us pushing for a goal and them countering us. So, yeah, I don't think that happens over 2 legs. So, yeah, I can't see Man City conceding as many. So it just depends if we're clinical. If we're clinical, we should win. If we're not clinical enough, it will punish us. But, yeah, I don't really worry about City yet. I worry about City in the latter stages. So, yeah, I think we'll go through, but I think it'll be close.
I think it'll be a 4-2 over both legs, 4-2. I can see Gladbach getting a goal in each match. Nothing against you, but like...
No.
I can see them getting a goal, but I can see you getting 2 goals in each game and just like defending you. Yeah. Like you said, it's going to be close. I think 4-2 is a reasonable thing. Like, they're not getting that many goals, and you're still getting your 4 goals, which is perfect for you guys. You can be like, you're not ruining anybody's team. You're not destroying anybody's name. You're not like getting like your 8 or 10 goals. So I think we can just like be calm with the 4 goals.
Yeah.
I think you're being too generous. This is a very, very, very formidable Manchester City team at the moment, and although I feel like Mönchengladbach will probably challenge them for, like, I don't know, maybe the first, maybe if they can hold the first half, maybe the first 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So, like, once City have that breakthrough, and we know they're just going to be relentless on the attack until they find that breakthrough. Once they find that breakthrough, it's just going to be a flood, and that's usually kind of what happens. And I will allow the fact that Mönchengladbach will probably maybe get a goal, maybe in the first leg, maybe in the second leg. I'm not really too sure, but that goal that they're going to get will probably be a consolation, and I think it will probably end up being something like 5-1 over both legs, because I just think this City team, like, I mean, they won every single game they've played this year since the new year began. That's just ridiculous and crazy, in my opinion.
Even in the Champions League, I think we had the best record for games won. I think we won. I think we drew 1 and won the rest, which was better.
I just think because of last time how you played against Gladbach.
You guys don't usually go out at this stage in the Champions League. It is usually the last stages. So I do think you guys will comfortably get through the stage very easily.
Are you playing at theirs first or yours?
Yeah, we're away first.
See, that's where I think the 2 goals might come from, is at theirs, because you struggled at theirs last time. It wasn't like they made it easy for you. But then again, there's no crowds. It's a different situation, so you never know. But I mean,
it's not actually at their home ground. It's at a neutral venue.
Yeah.
So they're away as well. It's stupid, really.
It's a weird one.
Same with us. We're going to, like, I think Bucharest or something.
Yeah, we are.
With Atletico. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. But before the stream started,
they have to come to Stamford Bridge. So
before the stream started, we were talking about the away goals, and like how I think it should have been scrapped this season, just because one, there's no crowd, so
doesn't make a difference.
It's a thing in itself. And secondly, like if you're going away, like tonight, obviously in the Europa League, like Man United played in Turin against Sociedad, so they're both away. So it's not really fair that the tie is over now. Do you know what I mean? And they've got to probably go to Old Trafford, and then they're probably not gonna get through. Not that they would get through anyway. They're 4-0 down, but yeah, things like that it can make a difference because technically they're both away. I don't think goals should be worth like. Do you know what I mean?
And also, some teams are playing in their same. Some teams are playing in both their teams' stadiums, whereas other teams, one team's playing in a neutral stadium, the other team's playing at theirs, and I think it becomes confusing and messed up. And if you've got certain teams playing at home and you've got certain teams not playing, and then you've got two teams that aren't even playing, like both their games are away in a neutral position, I think it becomes very confusing as to why they're even getting away goals when they're both away anyway. It kind of, I agree with. We should have had the rule nixed off until there was no need for neutral grounds. I think that would have been fair because right now, like people are just getting confused, like they really are.
You could be going out.
Grounds, or everybody gets to play in their own home grounds, and you just go through the normal COVID testing procedures. That's it. Really.
Yeah. We'll just before we wrap up, we'll just go on to the Premier League. Obviously the main game. So we've got Southampton, Chelsea. What is your score prediction for that game?
A win.
I'm going 3-1. I'm gonna go 3-1.
Yeah, I think 3-1. I'd say for Chelsea as well, to be honest.
I feel like we obviously need to work on being more clinical. I feel like that's something Tuchel's probably drilled into them in training. We are creating a lot of chances. We are dominating the ball possession-wise as well. More players are being involved into the game as well. But again, we do need to be more clinical from chances. Our strikers do need to start getting goals. We need to start getting goals from midfield positions as well, like the same way City do as well. So I do feel like that's something Tuchel's probably been working with them on training, something that the players are probably trying to implement and trying to be more clinical in their finishes. So slowly we're working from a goalless draw to scoring like 1-0 and then 2-0 and then like 2-0 and hopefully scoring more goals. So maybe this next game against Southampton is that next step up. So that's why I'm going to go for like a 3-1, hopefully. Timo Werner on the score sheet, Mason Mount, and hopefully Callum Hudson-Odoi. That's what I'd like to see.
I just want to win. We're playing Saturday. We're playing Saturday at 12:30. I can't deal with my weekend being ruined. I'll have to literally just drink my way through the weekend. Not that it's unnormal for me, but I can't deal with this. Like, I need a win. I need a win. I agree with Lamb. 3-1 is what I'm going with. Like, I don't care how we get it. I don't care if it's 2-1. I don't care if it's 1-0. I need a win. I need us to be clinical in it, and I need a win. But I'm not taking a 1-0 win as acceptable, if I'm personally honest. And to be honest, I wouldn't take a 2-1 win. Actually, no, I would take a 2-1 win. Would I be happy with it? Probably not. Because that means we would have slipped up in being clinical. 3-1, happy as Larry. Happiest girl in the world. I'm going to be celebrating like no one's business. But it is one of those ones where it's an early weekend kickoff. And you've got a lot to prove. Like, you kick off the weekend on kick off Saturday. Like, I need something. I need you to give me something. Like, and I want Werner to get a goal or two. I'm happy, but I want Werner to get 2 goals, and I'd quite like to see Hudson-Odoi get a goal too, or even Kovacic, because I think Kovacic deserves it. Like, the man's been playing so hard. Like, He has been busting his ass off. The man deserves a goal. Like,
I would also like to see Thiago Silva possibly get back into this lineup, because that would be a good sign for the ahead of the Atletico Madrid game.
Yeah.
I'd be quite happy if he came on as a sub. And only because I want no risks being taken. Thiago Silva has played Atletico Madrid before. He knows how they work. I don't want another injury. I don't want an Abraham injury like coming at us, so that we have like Thiago Silva out of the like Atletico Madrid game, because that's the most important game. I don't want Kante to be playing tomorrow on Saturday. I don't want Kante to be playing, only because we need him. He's just like literally just come back from injuries. We need to be resting him. I want Thiago Silva coming on at like the 70th minute, 65th, 70th minute. So he's got like 25 minutes. That just proves to me he's fit. But I can't have these players getting injured. Imagine if we had no Hudson-Odoi, no Kante, and no Silva. We might as well just hand Atletico Madrid the win. We might as well just leave Kepa in goal and have no other players on the pitch. Just leave Kepa against an 11-man Atletico Madrid, because that's what it would be like. Oh God!
Fair enough. The other big games are, there's a Merseyside derby, Liverpool at home to Everton. Me personally, Everton don't win that game.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Even though I want Everton to win, I just can't see it. I think they're at home at Anfield. They've lost quite a few games there. I just can't see anything other than a Liverpool win, to be honest.
Same.
Yeah. What do you think, Shell?
I mean, are you talking about the same Liverpool that everyone was like, oh, Man City aren't going to beat them. They haven't done it since 2002. Phil Foden was 2 years old. And now look, Phil Foden got a goal like a few years later. Like, I'm sorry. Everyone, no, do you know what? The problem is that if they'd have turned up for the Man City game, I would have agreed with you. But everyone's been saying, oh, they'll turn up. They'll turn up. It's at Anfield. But sorry, 2 seconds.
But yeah, I just think with Everton, like, as much as I think they should win, it's just like it's getting over the line. But obviously, with Ancelotti, you know, he is a good manager, and I think, to be honest, they played well against Man City. Like, they weren't terrible. I think City are just in that mode at the moment where they're just kind of like how we were at the end of the 18-19 season, where we just went 14 games unbeaten. It didn't matter who we came up against, we were winning. And it just feels like that at the moment. And I think, to be fair to Everton, they gave us a game. And, you know, a lot of City fans were saying we'd take a draw. You know, like at halftime when it was 1-1, they were saying we'll take a draw. And City just came out and, you know, killed it in the second half. And I don't know. But Everton did play well. So if that sort of Everton team turn up, they can beat Liverpool. But it's just whether that Everton will turn up or the one that lost 2-0 to Fulham. So I think it just...
I think my problem is that we keep saying that, like, Liverpool will turn up, it's at Anfield, they'll decide to turn up. How many times are we going to say this? Against Brighton, against Barnsley, Burnley. Oh, God, my brain. And, like, we've said this against Man City. Like, they drew with West Brom. Like, they've lost so many times. I'm just getting bored of this conversation because I always hear, oh, they'll turn up, and then they don't. Do you know what the problem I have is? They can turn up for the Champions League, but they can't turn up for their fans in the Premier League. That's poor. Sorry, I said it. I went there. I'm done there.
Fair enough. Moving on, we've got West Ham at home to Spurs. Obviously,
come on, West Ham.
The first round was 3-3. Spurs were 3-0 up and ended up drawing 3-3. So, if that's an interesting game, I don't even know what the score's going to be, to be honest. I don't.
Really hope so. I really hope that West Ham turn up. And the thing is, they definitely have the tools to turn up. Yeah. There's players in that squad that can turn up, and go for this Tottenham team and really challenge them, especially given how fragile their defense is and the mentality of the team right now is literally in the mud. So this is a really good time for David Moyes' West Ham side to face this Tottenham side. However, I do feel like this is now a Tottenham team that's kind of slowly coming back, slowly starting to win games, wanting to together a bit of a run, get some confidence back, especially ahead of this Carabao Cup final. They're hoping to get their first trophy in a very long time. Obviously, we know it's not going to happen, but good luck to them anyway. But for that reason, I feel like this game could possibly end up in a draw. I'm going to go for like a 2-2 draw. I don't think either team is going to make it easy. Both teams have a point to prove. Again, can't underestimate the quality of this West Ham team and how well they've been playing. But again, this is a Tottenham team that's slowly on the up and up and wanting to come back. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Shah, what do you reckon for West Ham?
I'd like West Ham to win, but I don't want them to win for my personal own gain. And that is, I want Spurs to win so that West Ham go 3 points below us. And that is how I play games. I am done with this. I would like Spurs to win. I need Spurs to win. So come on, Spurs. I'd like to see either a 2-1 or a 3-2 win to Spurs.
Yeah, I think Spurs might edge it, to be honest. But West Ham have been good. The other games are, you've got Aston Villa at home to Leicester.
Leicester.
I think it'll be a close one.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a close one.
I'm going Leicester.
I don't. I think it might be a draw.
Yeah.
I actually could see a draw happening. I know Leicester are the favourites, but if Leicester let slip for a dodgy moment, and Aston Villa have had a good run at the minute, so I don't think it takes much for little things to happen.
I think they're both very inconsistent because, like, when I've seen Leicester, some weeks they're good, and other weeks they're really poor. So I think it depends which Leicester turn up, and I think it's sort of the same with Villa as well. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, they're on the same points as Man United, so I'd prefer them to be above Man United. But then the more people that drop points below us, the better. So, yeah I don't really mind each way. It kind of works for City. A draw would be fine because then if Man United don't win, it means they're still on the same points. So that'd be good. But yeah, I'm not too sure for that game. I think Leicester might just edge it, but yeah, it's hard to call. The next game. Yeah, sorry. Go on.
No, I just said I completely agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. The next game is Arsenal at home to Man City.
That's not even a discussion. That's not even a discussion. That's an annihilation.
You see, like Yana's smiling because
I know she's like, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything. But yeah, this is an annihilation of absolutely. My team's going to annihilate Arsenal. I'm telling you now, it's going to be a 4-5-0 end of. Like Obama who? Obama what?
It's going to be four goals because I feel like Arsenal are kind of like trying to repair previous damage. But I think
4-1.
I think it's going to be like 3 or 4 goals. So it's going to be either like a 4-1 or a 3-0. I can see that happening quite easily.
I'll give them 4-1. They can have that one goal from like probably like Aubameyang diving, like I'll give them that, but that's about all I'm giving them.
Praise the youth.
Yeah, no, Saka, I can't fault Saka. Aubameyang, I can fault all I want. Saka, I can't. He's played good. David Luiz will probably give you a penalty. yeah, you know he's going to give you a penalty. Agent Louise, like, you can thank us for that. Agent Louise, like, got to be giving people penalties.
You're welcome.
You know what's interesting? Pep, like, has had this unbeaten record, like a similar unbeaten record twice at Bayern Munich, and both times Arsenal ended it, which is really weird. But yeah, I think
and that's all. I saw that tweet. I saw that tweet earlier, and I was like, "Oh."
it'd be interesting.
I mean, I'm hoping it's not.
Do you know what it is?
I feel like City's on such a run that I don't know if Arsenal are just getting back, and they're still finding their feet. I don't know if you can compete with the likes of City, who aren't just dominating, they're getting goals for fun.
Yeah, I think last time we went to the Emirates, obviously it was 4-1. But I think Arsenal are a little bit better now than they were then. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. It depends which Arsenal turn up and which Man City turn up. If the Man City that have been turn up, I don't think it matters which Arsenal team are there, to be honest.
Literally.
City just, wipe things away. But I think, yeah, it'd be interesting. City are going to drop points at some point. I don't know when that's going to be.
Who are United playing?
Newcastle.
They're playing Newcastle.
Now, Newcastle have a little bit of a thing where they like to beat Man United. Now, Newcastle, Steve Bruce, listen to me here. My name's Charlotte. Steve Bruce, listen to me. Beat Man United. Beat them. Beat them. Please. 2-1 to Newcastle. Please, I'm praying. Like, but that's the problem. I'm only basing it on the fact that Newcastle have done this before against Man United. They have this thing where they like to play really well against Man United. No other team, they'll play shit against every other team. Man United come off and they're like, we should probably play well for them, you know. And then Man U lose. But I don't know if it's different because Man United have actually been on a roll of like. Actually, to be fair, they have had a bit of a stoop at the minute. They're like a little bit like on and off. They're like, oh, should we? I mean, they lost to West Brom. Like, let's not remind them of that one. Oh, I did. Sorry, my bad. But you know,
they drew.
They drew, and I don't know if we can. It depends which Man United turns up.
Yeah.
I think also they only have a couple of days in between their matches, whereas Newcastle don't have any of that. They haven't played since Monday, which I think is going to be the difference. You're going to have tired players. You've got Cavani injured. Is Cavani going to be fit to play? Is he not? If he's not, that's like they've got a few injuries at the minute, and I think we need to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm Team Newcastle.
I think, to be honest, like Man United, kind of like Liverpool a little bit, they've struggled against the teams that are kind of at the bottom of the table, more so than the bigger teams. The bigger teams, they normally play for a draw and get a draw. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think it depends, like you say, which Man United turn up. I do think Newcastle are missing their main striker. So I'm not too sure if they will have the quality to beat Man United, to be honest, unfortunately. But yeah, I think anything can happen in this league, and we've seen it all season. You know, it's Newcastle will go and beat a decent team and then get beaten by a team that you'd expect them to be. It's just been a bit of a mad season. So yeah, we'll see. I'd like to think Newcastle can win, but I think Man United will win. And I think it'll be like 3-1 Man United personally, but I hope not. I hope I'm wrong.
I completely agree with you, Anne. As much as like I wish everything Charlotte said comes true, and you know, please, Charlotte, continue to speak it into existence.
I am praying to everything. I'm speaking it. Newcastle. I believe Newcastle can do this. I believe Newcastle can do this. I believe they can. I believe they. Do you know what? But I've seen Man U fans that are actually concerned about this because Newcastle have this huge thing where they decide to turn up, and it's like Steve Bruce had done that Everton game, and then what have they done since? So I feel like it is that time again for them to. They've beaten Everton. They can beat Man U. Like, this is my problem with Newcastle. They have like a really shit run. Then they have this epic game where they win that saves Steve Bruce's job. And then they go back to being shit again. And then if they beat Man United, Steve Bruce's job is safe again for another like couple of weeks.
I mean, I do have to agree with Jan in the sense where I feel like in this case, I think United just have a little bit too much for them.
Yeah.
No matter what, they still have Bruno Fernandes, and that is a huge difference to their squad. And it'll be 1 or 2 moments of his brilliance that'll probably end up winning in the game. So
yeah,
they're gonna win.
I think at worst for United, it'll be a draw. I think that's if they really don't turn up. But yeah, it'll be, I think, a United win. But we will wrap up there. Thank you, everyone that tuned in. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, tweet it out to your socials. People can watch it back. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Lambs, do you want to shout out where they can find you?
Yes. I'm quite everywhere. I suppose you can find me here sometimes on the Offside Rule. If I check my phone early enough. You can also find me on GNA TV. I host the Chelsea Lady Show where Charles also a panelist. I also co-host a show with her on her channel on Strong TV called The Football Wine Show. So that's going to be fun and interesting as well. I'm also on the Midnight Vibe Show and the Football Terrace. I do show bits and bobs on his channel about football, politics, racism, etc. So yeah, I'm pretty much here and there everywhere. But on socials, I'm on Instagram, so that's my handle down there, Alami Ahmed, and yeah.
Charles, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. It's oh no, other side here. It's here. That is it at Charlotte_Strong. You can find me on my YouTube channel at Strong TV. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video, to this channel, video, anything. Like I said, I do a show with Lambs, the Football and Wine Show, where we're going to have Anita on. I've got a show tomorrow with Prime, the Everything But Football show. We'll be discussing WandaVision. Yeah, we've got lots coming out. We've got a watch along on Saturday for the Chelsea game as well. You can find me on the GNA TV for the women's show on a Friday at 8, usually at 8 p.m, but it's at 7 p.m. tomorrow, so make sure you tune in for that. Find me on the Football Terrace for Kendall's show at 9 p.m. Yeah, you just as on here sometimes. Yeah, just a little bit of everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, make sure you go subscribe to these girls and check out all the channels mentioned. You can find me mainly here every week. And also on Sarcasm City mainly, or you can follow my Twitter, which is at It's Jan City, or I have my own YouTube, which is Jan City ENT, which will be getting shows soon. So yeah, subscribe and then you'll see some action on there for once. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you later.